It's another amazing Wednesday again for me to come your way and make your day a premium value one. Inuagata no Saka is the Miami able name. And today we're going to be discussing a very important topic. You know, this is the second official Wednesday of 2025. Technically, we are 2 weeks into 2025, and somehow the year is still fresh, and it's very important that we are equipped with the right nuggets that will help us, you know, to maintain that advancement edge in our industry, and especially as workforce members, as employees. You know, because of economic reasons, inflationary trend, and so many things that is happening in the economy, some CEOs, if not many of them, are beginning to cut costs. And one of the ways they are doing that is by just laying off some staff and seeing how they can be able to maximize profit and reduce expenses to the barest minimum. And, you know, losing job is not something exciting for any employee, especially now that there is so much, you know, expenses rolling in. And it's very important that as an employee, as a team member, a workforce in that system organization, you do things that will make your employer to keep you, especially in this new year, 2025. And that is why this morning we are looking at this topic, 4 reasons your employer will keep you in 2025. 4 reasons your employer will keep you in 2025. And the number 1 reason your employer will keep you in 2025 is when your employer sees you as a solution asset. When your employer sees you as a solution asset. Now, employers employ people to come and help them solve problems that their businesses or organizations have been established to solve. And when you find yourself on the payroll of an organization or on the payroll of that business, it is very important that you are solution-oriented. When it comes to the level whereby your employer, you know, has that confidence that anytime there is a challenge in the business, you are always there to bring your A game to the table in terms of bringing solution on board, that employer will want to retain you. This is very, very important. So in this new year, 2025, it is very important for you to actually up your game and become reputed for being a solution asset employee. Any staff, any employee that is a solution asset to an organization, helping the employer to solve its problems, helping the organization, the business, or the system to solve their problems, such you know, employee is not an employee that the employer would just want to easily let go, because that employer knows that whatever comes up, whether it is a problem the business has been established to solve, whether, you know, it is challenges the business may face as it, you know, embarks, as it's on its journey, no matter what, there is an employee called, you know, maybe Johnson, there's an employee called maybe Wally, there's an employee called Stephanie, that will always ensure that solutions are innovatively and creatively generated, you know, to keep the system, you know, pushing forward no matter the challenge. So one reason in 2025 that your employer would love to keep you is when you are a solution asset to the employer, when you become known to be a solution asset. This is just so important. The second reason your employer will keep you in 2025 is when your employer knows that you are a capacity building focused employee. When your employer knows that you are capacity building focused. Now, what does this mean? Being capacity building focused means that you are always pursuing self-development. Very important. You know, capacity is the ability to perform. Capacity is the ability to add value. But capacity building is strengthening and enhancing this ability to perform. Capacity building is strengthening and enhancing this ability to add value, and you were employed to add value. But what will help you to consistently add value, what will help you to consistently solve problems, is when you are always developing yourself. It is when you are always upping up your game, you know, doing everything possible to make sure that your expertise level is taken from point A to the next level, you know, of growth. This is so important. One reason that your employer will keep you in 2025 is when your employer knows that you are capacity building focused. Now, being a capacity building focused employee means that you become a resource person that will not just help in helping the organization, that is not just there in helping the organization to solve its problem, but is also there to become a mentor and a coach to colleagues, to other workforce members, to other employees, especially the newly employed. During that window of onboarding, when the newly employed are being brought in, they are being onboarded, they are being given the needed orientation to be able to be effective employees. Somebody like you that is seen as a capacity building focused employee will always be called upon, will be seen as a reliable person to be used to develop this other, next generation of employees. And when your employer knows you for that you are always there to, you have the capacity, you have the resourcefulness to develop other employees and keep the system running as a going concern, that employer will want to retain you. We are looking at 4 reasons your employer will keep you in 2025. And the first one, I said, when your employer see you as a solution asset. The third one is when you are not a problem to your employer. When you are not a problem to your employer. Now, is it possible for an employee to be a problem to his or her employer? The question is yes. Now, people are employed, to solve problems. But we have seen situations in some organizations whereby the person that was employed to solve problem for the organization is not the problem the organization is trying to solve. Now, for such an employee, one way that many employers easily just, handle the situation is to relieve them of that job. So, one thing you must do this year in 2025 is for you not to be a problem to your employer. Employers are looking for ways to lay people off. They are looking for ways to retrench people. And if you are the one that is not a problem to the employer, instead of being a problem solver, you are not going to stay there for a very long time. Now, the last one, the fourth reason your employer will keep you in 2025 is when your employer knows you for going the extra mile. When your employer knows you for going the extra mile. Now, what does that mean? It means that you are doing more than what you are paid to do. Going the extra mile, you are doing more than what you are paid to do. Any employee that works within that kind of, framework is somebody that the employer will want to retain, because the employer is very sure that even when he or she is not around, we have an employee his hand is always on deck to make sure that things work, and then the person goes beyond what he or she is paid to do. And at the end of the day, we'll have an employer that have confidence in you. As a way of review, we have just looked at 4 reasons your employer will keep you in 2025. The first one, I said, when your employer sees you as a solution asset. The second one is when your employer knows that you are capacity building focused. The third one is when you are not a problem to your employer. Then the fourth one, which is the concluding one, is when your employer knows you for going the extra mile. I believe that lots of value have been added to you today. It's very important you connect with me through my online handles at Nosa Speaks. Connect with me on Thread, at Nosa Speaks on LinkedIn, at Nosa Speaks. Connect with me on X, former Twitter, and then at Nosa Speaks 1 or Inuagata Nosahai. Connect with me on Facebook. Send your questions across, provide answers straight to you, and then we are able to build a better build a better industry for ourselves, and then build a better nation for ourselves as well. I'll be seeing you next week, Wednesday. And when I return, I will still be the amiable Inuagata Nosahai. Your day is so blessed. God bless you.